Alright, today's video I'm going to do something a little bit different. I've got my 97 Astra van back here, and I kind of had a little situation this morning, and I wanted to kind of talk with you guys about negotiation. This is something that you'll find that will come up quite frequently when we do automotive repair, you do car purchasing, you do anything that has to deal with vehicles. There's certain things that you need to understand about negotiation. So I wrote my top 10 reasons, things that you can do and look for when it comes to negotiations, and how we can alleviate it being a lose-lose for both people. It's got to be a situation where you get what you're trying to get and the person that you're negotiating with achieves their objective as well. So I'm going to show you in today's video on how to do that. Okay, first item in hand, we're going to talk about knowing the value of what it is you're trying to negotiate. Let me give you an example. If you have a situation where you are purchasing a car or you are selling a car, you need to know exactly what that vehicle is worth. You need to know price. I always tell when my family, when they purchase anything, I always tell them get 3 prices. Get good, better, and best. Then you decide in the middle which one is the best for you. So that's the first step, is you need to know exactly what it is worth, and then you can move on to the next step. Alright, number 2, you need to know how it works. You need to know the process behind what it is you're negotiating. You need to know if buying a 4-wheel drive is a good purchase for you. You need to know if buying a 2-wheel drive is a good purchase. You need to know what works best for you. On this particular van, we had a situation with it needed some new brakes. We just did a video last March on brakes. So when I was discussing with the mechanic what it needed for brakes, I needed to understand how it works. I needed to understand how the skid plate works. I need to understand how their safety inspection works. I need to understand the whole concept behind it. We're going to be doing a video on this van on how to bleed the brakes, because that's what I suspect is causing the problem, but you need to know how it works. So that's number 2. Step number 3, you need to understand that the person you're negotiating with, you need to have the upper hand as a negotiator. You need to know exactly what it is that customer or that client or that person is willing to take as a price. For example, when you go and you negotiate a car, you're sitting down with a used car salesman, you want to understand how much you're willing to pay, you want him to understand how much you have. The first thing you need to do is just you need to know right off the get-go what's the bottom line price. If it's marked on the sticker on the window, you say it's $14,000. That's their asking offer. Now that's not what you pay. That's what they're asking. So in negotiation, you say, because you see the sticker price, they're asking $14,000. But that's not what you pay. Your negotiation starts at that point. But if you're going to somebody who's selling something and they don't have it listed as a price, you need to ask them, what are you willing to take? You need to let them go first. Actually, you learned that from the guy in Las Vegas that does the big auctions that he has. I'm trying to remember the TV show he has. Auction Kings, I think it is. But that's one of the biggest things, is you have to let the other person go first. What are you willing to take? How much are you looking to get out of it? Then you can start your negotiations from there. Step number 4, you need to know exactly how much it is worth. Some people will tell you it's worth a certain amount of money. You need to know how much it's worth. And you won't know until you ask them. What you think it's worth and what they think it's worth is going to be different. But when you ask them, well, what do you think it's worth? Well, you want $4,000, but what do you think it's worth? Because now you're going to find out exactly where they stand. Well, I think it's worth $4,000. I'm willing to take $3,500. I need at least $3,500. So you know you have your starting point and your ending point. Either a high point is $4,000, low point is $3,500. So if you meet somewhere in the middle, you're going to come with a negotiation that works for both parties. So you need to know what they're willing to go to, high and low. Just like I was telling you in the last clip. You need to have a good, better, and best. Alright, step number 5. You need to have an objective. When I say objective, you need to have a plan. You need to know exactly where you're going with your plan. And you need to know how to hit it. For example, let's say there's 2 of you. Your husband and wife. There's 2 of you, okay? You need to understand that if your wife is going to come in and talk with the salesman, and you're going to talk with the salesman, you guys need to come together to a strategy and a plan to attack that before you go and you talk with somebody. Now automotive repairs is the same. When you go to a service garage and you have somebody who wants to charge you $400 to replace a fuel spider, which what we did in this cost us $400, but that was just labor. You need to be able to negotiate. Now sometimes things are not negotiable. Purchase of a home, purchase of a car, those are negotiable. Some things are not, but you need to have an objective and you need to have a strategy to hit that objective. So you need to be working to the common goal.